What's up, everybody? I'm Albie13. Okay, today I wanted to make a little video about future batteries. We have a battery technology that they have been investing in. It's been invented, and they're trying to mass produce them. So the first thing I wanted to make a note of, that's notable, is that um, the car company BYD in China invested $1.4 billion into constructing a sodium ion battery plant. And so that's showing you one company, one particular main company that is producing these batteries. They're serious about producing these batteries. Now, what I'm actually looking at today is this company known as CSIT Energy. Reading their website about them, it says that they are China Sodium Ion Times. That's what their company is. And they are just scanning through their about section. They talk about their sodium ion battery, cell battery pack, energy storage battery, that they're located in Shenzhen. They apparently deal with over 30 countries. They have over 500 employees, so they're sizable. And they claim to have 20 years experience with battery technology. They're offering high warranty, so that means to say that they believe that their products are quality. This is probably not typical of a Chinese company, because they typically like to create products, sell them, make their money, and not worry about warranty and issues. The only thing they've been worried about in the past is if you have a problem, they'll replace it. So that means their company's there to stand behind the product. But so anyway, I wanted to go ahead and look at, since their website is rich with pictures and info, I'm switching over to, I'm going to be looking at their sodium batteries, and we can see some of that right here. Just making sure that we're displaying properly. Yes. But before I get to that, I just gave you a quick look at that. They went ahead and posted on LinkedIn their material. This was actually published May 6th, relatively fresh information. So I think that this stuff is, they're generating content to market and to educate on this sodium ion battery technology versus the lithium ion battery technology. The lithium is what has been ruling the world, but sodium batteries are important. Not exactly a replacement directly, meaning you're not going to replace every lithium battery with a sodium battery. But sodium batteries have a great place in the future, and that's why I call them a future battery, because they will be here, and they will be in certain products, including cars. When you talk about a budget car, and we're going to get to that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in here about the sodium ion battery advantage. Okay, so electric car opponents have been just foaming at the mouth about how electric cars are not safe because they can catch on fire. This has been one of the strong points that, that on occasion there's been, of course, a little bit of news catches on fire and goes around the world, right? Oh, no pun intended. But the car, there was a Tesla that caught on fire. They took pictures of it, video. You see the fire department, all this stuff. They tried to make them as safe as possible. My understanding is almost every time a small fire that develops and turns into a larger deal doesn't affect people. It's just the car may burn down, okay? But what they're saying is that sodium technology is much, much safer. And according to everything I know, um, the batteries are not supposed to catch on fire. And so we're looking at two technologies right now. One is a solid state technology, and the other is a sodium technology that we're talking about right this second. And so they claim that it doesn't catch on fire and there's no risk of explosion. They say that, you know, I think that they're saying that during overcharging the battery, forcing an overcharge, or puncturing the battery, that they're very safe. And the materials inside them are just safer by nature since it's a salt type of battery. So we look at this, they're saying that the batteries are safer in high temperature environments, which is where you do tend to worry about battery safety. So they expect that they will not spontaneously catch on fire, which is all really great things. Just by the nature of them being safer, they seem to believe that that's an important point to make since they make that as the first point. But going right down to what is the game changer idea? Lower costs. Sodium batteries cost less than lithium ion batteries, and they say that the cost of making them will continue to get cheaper, even as they start out being cheaper than lithium batteries. So they say that, let's see here. We'll see about the costs when we really get down to it. Now, you can actually start comparing the costs when you start purchasing batteries and comparing them to purchasing the same quantity of lithium batteries. Then you can actually get some pricing comparison at the level that you're purchasing, right? Because they do deal with buying in bulk. But anyway, here is what the next point that they make about sodium ion batteries is that super fast charge. A sodium ion battery can be charged to 80% in 15 minutes. They can charge it slower, but that seems to be what they're saying is at the fastest that you can charge it. It may be, as traditionally in batteries, that you might want to charge it a little slower than that to preserve the battery so that it can last more cycles. But they claim that you can have a lot of cycles with the super fast charge. So then what else do we have? Wider operating temperature range. It's interesting, not just that the batteries can operate, the fact that the batteries can operate in a higher and lower, so when it's colder or when it's hotter, I think that that's the kind of technology that you want in cell phones and cars because we live with them. We expect them to survive like materials survive. We don't want something sensitive with us. The last thing we want to worry about is our car going to have a problem because it's too hot or too cold, or is our cell phone going to have a problem when we're living with it? It's in close proximity. It could be in storage where it's somewhere that could affect things. So they claim a very high range there, and there is something subtle about temperature, which is how does the battery perform? Historically, the issue that has been pointed to over and over again is that electric cars don't work very well in cold environments, and the batteries don't work very well. They, I guess they just work like they have a less charge in a super cold environment, snow, that type of thing. So that we'll get more information about that. Then they say that it's a deep cycle battery, and they're saying that you can discharge the battery all the way to zero power without affecting the battery. They say that you can store and transport batteries without any charge in them, and this makes them safer in storage and transportation. But just the fact that you can store it, we don't have the exact information on this, but without any charge, that would seem to say that you could have a battery sitting there for a long time, and you don't have to worry about it being in storage or you selling it or using it at a later date. So for the sellers of batteries, well, it's good for everybody. The manufacturers can sit on batteries, the sellers can sit on batteries, and then as the end user buys the batteries, they can store them personally. They can have backup batteries. That is to say, you have replacement batteries if yours get, used too many times. And you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I better buy the battery right before I need it because I don't want an old battery. Old batteries is something we've been living with and worried about, for decades. So let's see here. Longer life cycle. That if that's true, that's already kind of its own reason to want to have sodium ion batteries. So what they're saying specifically is that sodium batteries can cycle 2,000 to 3,000 times. Where you look at the lithium ion battery technology, a lot of them do claim to do 500 or 1,000 times. So you're looking at 2,000 to 3,000 versus 1,000. At least twice as many, and if not 3 times as many. And we're liking that. Now that's a generational leap. And the reason why we're seeing this is because we had 30 years of lithium battery technology, and the innovation, it was invented, it was put together, it was, conceptualized, it was designed, they were able to come up with something real that we could actually use. There's a lot of battery technology out there. There's inventions of battery technology and ideas about improving battery technology, but we're here apparently at the stage. That's why I say that. Now, according to what they say, we are on the first stage of sodium-ion battery development. So the sodium battery technology is not as mature. And see here. Okay, so that's what they. Now we can just jump right into the products. So what we're seeing here is the typical products that you see for a lot of things that we do now. These round cylindrical batteries are kind of what we see out there. We're seeing them used for personal items all the way up to using many of them in electric cars. So these are really important. I think they have different specifications and stuff, and you may have to have a different logic for how you control the batteries with the computer brain. But they got the products, and they're apparently made, and they're making them. But one thing that stands out different. Now, can I actually dive into one of these batteries? We want to look at something as standardized as I can see. This is the first one they say. So we look at this and we say, this is pretty standard looking. Sodium ion battery manufacturer, they have these square type as well, which seem to have their own use, which seem very good. But we're focused on the cylindrical type. All the stuff that we kind of went over. And let me see if there's anything here that we should look at. Can I make this larger? And can you see that okay? I need to move this over. Okay, that should work. Go back to that. So let's see here. Super fast charging. So all the stuff that we just went over, cost saving, good performance. They specifically say you can puncture the battery with a needle, and it will be okay. It will be safe still. So that means that this product is suitable for a lot of things where the battery could get damaged. I think that's the connection that we're supposed to make. And then let's see here. Is there anything more important? Anything important here to mention? have the 1300 milliamp hours, and this is a 3.1 volt battery, which is pretty standard amount of power that they provide. 18650. That battery is extremely popular in today's world. You may have heard that. You typically see it for flashlights and stuff, I think. So this is going to be really good. They say that these particular cylindrical batteries are greater than or equal to 2,000 life cycles. I think that the life cycles, they're going to put conservative figures. They've done testing, but, you know, it really matters about that the public or the companies that use them are in agreement with the cycle life. They shouldn't see anything below that. So that's what I think that they're shooting for. They're saying, we want to give you a cycle promise that these batteries will absolutely do. And if they do more, they can do more. But if they don't want to say that. They don't want to. So they're careful about overstating that. But that's, again, we're looking at 2,000 life cycle versus 500 or 1,000. And then let's see here. Looking at their products now, there is another page, didn't even go there yet, but here's the one that is an interesting product that I have been seeing. There's been videos on YouTube about these pouch type batteries. Let's see if there's anything here to see. And so it's kind of, now interestingly, this is a thin pouch, but they don't really show a profile picture. Now they do have a visual here, so they're saying that, you know, it's flat, but, you know, it's not very it's not thick in terms of when you look at it from the side. They don't have a picture of that, of the actual product there, interestingly. But that's okay, I guess. I mean, you could kind of see it. Anyway, let's see here. So dimensions of the product. Is there anything that they're noting here? Specific nominal voltage, 2.85 volts. Little different specification. But here's something to note. Long cycle life. Wait, why does it say cylinder? That might be a typo there. That it shouldn't be cylinder on this particular one. But I'm noticing here in their spec list, I don't see a cycle. Cycle? I don't know, but I'm looking up here where it says that 6,000 times, over 6,000 times, which is different from the 2,000 times of the other battery technology, the other battery type. Oh, right there, cycle life. I missed it. 6,000 times. Now that alone could warrant using a pouch style battery. If this battery is supposed to be able to be recharged 5,000 to 6,000 times versus one that you can only charge, 2,000 times. So now you're talking about that's a huge difference there. It's even hard to kind of like think about how that would be. That's a long-term, a company that uses a battery for many years, and they they get their use out of it and it still works, and then maybe like even after they've used it, they might sell it to someone else, and that second owner may use it additionally with still having cycles in the battery. So that's pretty incredible, and that's the kind of future that we're dealing with. Whereas, people will sell products, that is to say, sell things that have batteries that are, still have life for the second user. Because if you think about a car, you buy one with miles, it has miles left on it so that you can keep driving the car. You're not buying a car that has, no miles left on it and then you have to replace the engine or something like that, right? So that's the same kind of idea. We want things that match that kind of durability and, long-term stuff. And then there were some pictures that they posted here that were different from the website. I thought that was interesting, but oh, here's a bigger version of that exact picture. So strangely, I mean, it has a bit of a little bit of a, it's not completely flat, but it's an interesting thing. So what is this like something that could go in a laptop? I don't know, or that type of thing. No, I mean, it's as wide as a keyboard, so I mean, this one is pretty large. They I wonder what the application for these pouch style things are. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I have, I think. Pouch. Let's see here. Sodium. Okay, under sodium. Is this a thing? Cylindrical battery cells. Sodium ion battery pack. Oh, this is a battery pack. I didn't even realize. I thought this was like a charger or something, but this is a self-contained battery pack that looks like, oh, it says it's for a lawnmower. So they have a lawnmower type of hot swappable battery. 5.2 milliamp hours. So that's an interesting thing that they're going for. But this one here, what is a prismatic battery cell? I'm going to go ahead and do a look here. The rectangular batteries. Okay, we're not seeing a picture of the prismatic. I'm not familiar with this term in battery world. It's a rigid casing, rectangular shape for stacking multiple units. And so they have a picture of it. I thought we saw one, but anyway, do they have a picture of a regular prismatic cell just to give us an idea? That is this the kind? Prismatic. Okay, so obviously this is lithium technology or whatever, but this is the idea of what they call prismatic. So you have the terminals, you have the square batteries, and that's just to give you a visual of that. So I think that's all I have for now. Just talking about, I already covered, what kind of, the batteries, what they look like, and so this is what it is that this technology, was being developed in a lab and theoretical. They were making them, but this company is doing it. So I thought that I wanted to take a little look at their visual and their specs and stuff. Just go through it. So thanks for watching. Comment if you have any questions. Like it or dislike it. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. Because only a small percentage of people that watch videos on channels subscribe. And that includes me. And I need you. So talk to you next time.